Hi, we're live. Welcome to Ignite Your Soul, Merging Two Worlds. Today, I wanted to start this video at 3 o'clock. Something came up, family issue. Dealt with that. Then I was going to do it at 4. Something else came up. So something is trying to stop me from making this video. Life, right? So I want to do it outside. I feel more surrounded by nature, connected to source. And like I said, this is going to be a channeled message. And I'm going to also include some life experiences. However, let's talk about death. Um, just as anybody else, growing up when I was a kid, and it's hard to explain to kids what death is. When you don't know yourself. Okay, so it's like I've been trying to explain these things to other kids in my family when they ask about the cat dying or the dog dying, where does it go, what happens. But death, however, it has many, how do you say it, condemnations or what's the word I'm going to use? Um, Many different faces. Okay, there's death itself when we leave the physical world, exit our physical body, and then there's death and rebirth as far as letting go and letting God take over. There's endings that bring new beginnings. Okay, that's a death. This is what we call metaphysically speaking. But when we talk about the physical death, and I want to bring this up because of an experience that one of my family members have had recently, as well as my, on the same exact day, the same kind of death, only different, happened to someone else. And usually, if you're superstitious, things come in threes, right? Well, that was twice, and I'm not sitting here waiting for doom and gloom and death. However, it happens. That's the part of life and the transition. But, anyways, this experience, it was heartbreaking, and I really want to share it. I'm not going to say who um, this happened to. However, it was a very, very close family member. Lost a high school friend slash taking it slow, getting to know each other. Maybe it could have been something different. In a span of 2 weeks um, of them trying to get to know each other, this family member of mine wakes up one morning, gets a text, "Yeah, I'm on my way to work. Talk to you later." They had plans for that week as well. And this person gets a feeling in their gut because um, the person didn't answer, and he always answered, right? He, she, whatever. All right. So, come to find out, um, the gut feeling was correct. Okay. So, this is this person's intuition saying, "Man, something's wrong. He's always calling me, he always checks on me. We talk on the phone all day, and it's not feeling right." Well, that feeling told her that something was off. And as much as we want to listen to that feeling, we deny it. Okay, we deny it because our human mind cannot comprehend the word death. Um, some people can, some people can't. However, um, later that evening, uh, my family member read on Facebook a post that her person was killed in a motorcycle accident, and he suffered for 21 hours. Well, let me tell you about death. And did he suffer? He did not. Okay. Um, the death was caused by carelessness of the other person. And the reason he did not suffer is because the soul knows when to exit the physical body. And I know this because I'm a master intuitive psychic medium, right? I talk to spirit. I call in other uh, people's loved ones that's passed, and they share this information. Information, that's my son's name. Information with us, mediums. Okay. Um, so I had no idea. I wasn't trying to even comprehend this for my loved one. Um, it don't happen like that all the time for mediums. Um, However, I did later do a reading and connect it to the soul, and he was blindsided. He was definitely blindsided by a car, and he was on his way to work. And what he loved to do, he died doing. He was test driving the motorcycle and going to work. Well, with that being said, now the other part of death. Okay, yeah, he didn't suffer. The soul knew when to remove the soul from the physical body. And so it is. All right. So, yes, the meat suit that's laying there, and the family and the loved ones and everybody is assuming they're suffering uh, when they're no longer present. Okay. And I know this too from my own father's death. This is exactly what I thought. Oh my God, all that he went through. No, mm-mm, not true. Because I now communicate with my father on the other side, and this was since '06. Lots of years uh, learning and how to connect and stay connected to the source that we're all created from. So that's the physical death. That's the experience I wanted to share. Yeah, there's really no suffering. And what I mean by that is maybe some souls, okay, I'm going to say maybe, but most likely not, um, suffer because you have a contract when you die. You have many door deaths, okay, deaths to door, or whatever you want to call it. Um, Doors to death. Um, so, with that being said, that's the physical death. That's the truth, all right, about your loved ones. Um, it is still, uh, as a medium, it's a little harder. I sympathize in a different kind of way now. Like even growing up, I was curious, where do they go after here, after they leave the physical? Well, that's all fine and dandy. The soul unsnaps or zips, whichever you choose, um, to depart from the physical body. And the soul is out here protecting the physical body. So that's why I always say the soul essence comes first. So when you're trying to fix something, okay, this is the other ending, death, transformation, whatever you want to call it. It is a metaphysical saying that things need to end to bring in the new energy. And I always say energy because that's what we are. We're source energy. That's the truth. We all came from the same place, okay? The same creator. Um, you really don't have no favorites, all right? No favorites. No no accidents, happenstance, or coincidence. All right. So there was a contract for my loved one and this person because prior to the current accident, well, not accident, but you know what I mean, passing, crossing to the other side, leaving the physical body, whatever you want to call it, there was some lessons. And when I say lessons, there was more blessings in that for her and him. They made each other so happy in just 2 weeks. All right. And they knew each other in high school. Breathe. This person, well, my family member, was already doing so much unconditional love and healing on the self after leaving a narcissistic boyfriend. Um, happened pretty quickly. But because of that work and all that stuff that she chose to end and get rid of in her life that was toxic in any kind of way, a person, place, thing, or somebody else's idea of what love looks like or what it should feel like, um, released regret and any kind of guilt or trauma or grief that um, she was carrying. So she attracted someone that was just for a brief moment in time and space, um, to share the ultimate feeling and expression of true happiness, what that felt like, because she never felt that before. Never. Never been taken out on a date, never been respected. Um, yeah, lots of stuff. So, very, very sad ending. I do sympathize with this person, and I light a candle of love and peace to the soul that has passed on. And he, let's talk about his passing and crossing over to the other side, is also a gift. Because of this contract and what those two experienced briefly, not everything is meant to stay forever. Okay. If it were, we wouldn't grow, we wouldn't expand, we wouldn't learn shit. All right. We wouldn't learn shit. So that is the other part of death. It's like now that he's on the other side, he came through. I gave her a nice reading, clarification, what really happened. There was definitely deceit, or he was saying there was going to be someone lying about what happened. Okay. So I already know the truth. He knows the truth. God knows the truth. That's all that matters. For everyone here that want to talk about it and say it happened this way or that way, it doesn't matter because he's over on the other side having a life review, and seeing it hit him again. You know, just your whole life. You know, he left a 4-year-old daughter. Um, that's something for her to learn growing up, that there's no such thing as separation. How do I know? Because that's exactly what I'm doing right now with my father. No matter who this person is here in the physical, we all have soul contracts. We have soul contracts with soulmates. And they, you know, because of how it feels. And they light you up, or they don't. There's the narcissistic um, contracts too that are there to put you in your power. And personally, um, the soul that passed and he has ascended, and to the third level. Okay. So that's what I'm getting. He's on the third level of what you would call heaven. And he has a choice. Okay. He didn't have a choice to come back because this life contract ended. It was brief. It wasn't even 27. It was short of June 20th. Okay. It would have been 27. And um, I did get signs and synchronicities after the fact that he was still around. And I already knew that. But how do you approach someone that does not understand death and transition? And that what needs to end because of a soul contract with Source, all that is, that person came in to not only be a teacher, but also learn. So that's what death is. Physically speaking, now he's on the other side, like I said, getting a life review, seeing, oh, you know, that's why I didn't like that person. That's why I was unhappy with my own life. That's why I didn't enjoy being a chef or a cook, whatever. Just examples. So, life reviews are everything that you have physically experienced here and now in this lifetime. Right. And another thing about death and transition is he has a choice. Okay, obviously he didn't have a choice to come back in, all right, or he wouldn't have left in the first place. So he chose to stay. He said, I learned, I grew, now I'm ready to move on to the next level of heaven, all right, so to speak, which is another vibrational um, dimension. So he's back. He's back to his whole authentic, true energy source. Not one flaw. And you know what? He didn't have any flaws here either. It was just a limited belief or a habitual way of thinking, feeling, and reacting in life. And he's going to review that as well as what he's left behind. Okay, what he's left behind um, was also no accident. Um, it's to teach the 4-year-old daughter anything and everything, also on the other side, that there's no separation. We're always connected to the energy of the divine beings that we are. When we focus on the divine being first, all right, yes, we're human, we're physical beings, okay, but we're not the things of the physical world, is what I want to say. It's just the experience. And I don't know, there might be someone out there that is feeling powerless right now and so disconnected and far from source that needs to hear this channeled message. And yes, I am being channeled right now. You are not separated. It's only an illusion or a delusion that the ego mind will create to keep you safe and say, um, it's religion versus spirituality. You're a soul, you're a spirit. Religion doesn't any matter. Be any damn religion you want. It don't matter. We're all the same source. We all have contracts with soulmates, people, places, things, other people's ideas. And do we take that other person's idea? We take in the opinion sometimes of others and make it our own. And source does not want this. Okay? Yes. Review that okay, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to definitely talk to my future self, my higher self, source of all that is beauty here. Um, what's next for me? What's the next obvious step? You know, all right. So I'm really big. I'm huge right now. As far as my own personal development, being the human being, and as well as the spiritual development. I have exceeded my spiritual development, and I believe I carry the holy grail of wisdom of Source. I'm not sure if I can go any higher or if I can know any more than I already know. Um, there's just the mystery. Same as about death. There's a mystery about death. Okay. And when we think about death, we think, oh my God, we're powerless. But I'll tell you, the physical death keeps you mourning this person that had a contract, loved the life they lived, even if it was challenging. Because shit, I'll tell you, if you knew the way I lived, you would be surprised. It's not all rainbows and lollipops, let me tell you. But I get to smile more, I get to show up collectively and individually. It helps me stay accountable. But um, death, death and life, okay? So there's the metaphysical death, there's the physical death. What's the difference? Well, the metaphysical death are specific things that you need to change and end that are toxic for your mind, for your body, and your soul. Okay? Mentally, emotionally, and physically. I am always working on my mental body, emotional body, and spiritual body. And that's how I can be the holy grail of mediumship. And you know what? You don't even have to know who it is. You just know. It's not like, hey, I want complete control of this. I want to know exactly what's next. No, you don't. You're always connected. There's just a feeling of that needs to get tweaked, a switch in your mind that says source is outside of you always. Okay? It's not okay to like someone that is religious versus spiritual. That's keeping you away from your source, your connection, your true, authentic connection. All right. I did it. I've been through trial and error. I've judged people and I've judged myself so harshly until I just wanted to give up. But I didn't. I'm still here. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. Um, and that's my expertise. Okay. I don't know what yours is, but you got one too. Right? 2, 3, 4. Stay optimistic for somebody out there that's about to watch this. Um, so there's a lot of self doubt right now, collectively, um, around the masculine energy, as well as the feminine, but more on the masculine side. And when I say uh, masculine, I mean your own inner masculine. Okay, you don't know how to show up for yourself. Um, you're afraid, or there's some kind of self doubt in the way that um, you might actually get what you want. So if you're out there and you saying shit like, I pray, I just wish the fuck I would die, or whatever the case, you will get that. Okay. It has to manifest. And I don't know how much charge I have on this. However, let's talk about life. Life and death. Death of the metaphysical transformation, ascension, raising our consciousness as a collective and individually. This is going to help you, your loved ones, um, and on a collective level. That's why we're here. That's why Source gave us the manifested physical experience as a soul first. However, we haven't always looked at it as that. But it's time. It's time. That's why everybody's dying. They're leaving. And when I say dying, it just ascending. Okay. Some people choose to leave at the time of Corona, and others choose to go through it and experience it. Okay, so life is beautiful, and we haven't always been able to feel the world around us because of these self judgments and judgments of others. All right, and society, the way we was taught, that it can only be this one way. You can never change your mind. Basically, you might grow up like that. Narcissistic mother, father. Um, you know, it was my lifetime to be the empath, the empathic soul, the chosen one, to feel everything around me. And growing up, I did not know what I was feeling. I didn't know until um, 43 years old, and I'm about to be 49. Um, like, how do I do this? How do I judge the difference from my own emotional being from someone else's? And that's become my greatest gift to the collective, and to be able to be here and show up and surprise you. Because, look, I never realized it. Why would have you? Right? So I'm just here. I'm my authentic self. I speak from integrity to all divine feminine. If you, or divine masculines, whichever, it works both ways, no gender base. If you are experiencing a relationship that is toxic mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all right, leave it in the comments. I'm taking the first three people and we're going to solve one area of your life. Okay. I don't focus on the problem. I already have the solution. And I have that because of me relationships. I've had to learn through narcissistic, toxic, drug addicted, abusive, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. All of it. I've had to experience it to come back now and help you. And I know I'm not alone. I see it around me every day. I can sit in a coffee shop and I can just, take a breath, tune in and say, oh, wonder who I could help here. That's my life. That's my life. That's Source takes care of me, for showing up, for communicating my experiences, getting down and dirty and getting vulnerable. All right. Um, I've lived intense. I mean, oh, I'm going to lose my battery, but I will make a part two, and we're going to talk about, since we talked about our death, physical death, what happens after that, and there's a lot more. That's just the icing. But how you can connect to your own soul, figure out your next step, listen to your own body. Okay, the body is the veil. Um, okay, so I'm getting tuned in here. Um, All right. I'm going to have to sign off, and I'm definitely going to come back. We might even do it tomorrow. It's been wonderful. I love you. 33. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to make a part 2 of this video. I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Bye for now.